Hey, what's going on? Monday, August 12th, 2024. Tris Speaker, Baseball Hall of Fame. You've heard of him? I am very impressed with his accomplishments, his career, his box scores, and his stats. This video will look at the 1911 season. How did he do? Played 141 games, 500 at-bats, 88 runs scored, 167 hits. That's down from 183 he had the year before. But he increased his doubles output, 34 doubles. The year before he had 20. 13 triples, 8 homers, not a home run guy. 70 RBIs. He's not an RBI guy like Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, those guys. 25 stolen bases. It's all right. 52 walks. 334 batting average. That's good. That becomes his third year in a row over 300. 418 on base, 502 slugging, 251 total bases. Year before he had 252, so he's consistent there in the total bases. During the 1911 season, he had a 12-game hitting streak, 50 multi-hit games. Now that's down from the year before. 1910, he had 60 multi-hit games. This year, 50. 39 two-hit games, 7 three-hit games, 2 four-hit games. He had 16 games where he scored 2 runs. 3 games, 3 runs scored. He had 14 2 RBI games and 3 he had 14 2 RBI games and 3 games with 2 RBIs. He didn't have a 4, 5, or 6 RBI game. So again, he's not an RBI guy. He's a doubles hitter, a singles hitter. 167 hits. He has 500 at-bats and maintains 334 average. This guy is legit. He's solid. You can count on him. Put him in the lineup every day and he'll bat over 300. All right, 1911. Those are his stats, his box scores, and his accomplishments. I looked at every game. What I want to continue to do is to analyze Tris Speaker's career. I want to go year by year, and I want to see where does he rank as one of the greatest players of all time. Is he in the top 10 or the top 20? So far on my list, my analysis, I have covered 4 guys who are in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I have covered every single game they played. Every box score I looked at. Started with Babe Ruth, 2,500 games. I looked at every one of them. I listed his accomplishment, wrote a book. And to me, he's the #1 greatest baseball player of all time. By looking at his box scores and stats and comparing him with others, what he did in 2,500 games was amazing. #2 on my list is Ty Cobb. I looked at his box scores, and I looked at every game he played. 3,000 games. Over 3,000 games. He's #2 on my list. And I wrote a book on Ty Cobb. #3 on my list is Lou Gehrig. About 2,100 games over that. And he played 17-year career. And his accomplishments, he was an RBI guy. He had home runs, good batting average, 340 career. What he did in over 2,100 games, he had 1,995 RBIs in 17 years. If he had played 20 years, he would have had like 2,300. He may have been #1 all time in RBIs, Lou Gehrig. And then the 4th guy I covered, Stan Musial. I looked at every game he played, every box score. 3,600 hits, 331 career batting average. right now, he's number 4 on my list. Because I looked at every game he played. Now, it's subject to change. So with these videos right now, I'm looking at Tris Speaker's career. Why? Well, you got to look at his career accomplishment of a .345 career batting average. That's top 5 all time. Who's ahead of him? You've got Ty Cobb, number 1, .366. Roger Hornsby, .358. Joe Jackson, .356. You got Ed Delante, .346. And then you got Tris Speaker in the number 5 slot, .345. You may say, what about the Negro League players? Those leagues. Yeah, some guys had good batting averages, but it's incomplete. We don't have a record of every game they played because back then the scorekeepers and the stats didn't keep enough of the records for us to analyze. Also, those guys played less games. I know you got Josh Gibson up there. In fact, if you go to Baseball Reference right now and type this in, if you want to analyze career batting average leaders, put in career batting average leaders in Google. What'll do, it'll pop up at baseballreference.com. Click it, and right now they have Cobb at .366. They don't put Josh Gibson's .372 there. Not yet. But Gibson didn't play long enough. And some of those years where he had high batting averages, he only had 60 games played. You got to have 500 at bats to qualify, right? They put Oscar Charlton number 2 here with .364. I don't know. He's got 900 games under his belt, but you know, the 1 year he batted .433, but he only had 77 games. Oh, come on. You need like at least 130, 140 games. There was 1 year where he played 101 games. He had a .374 average. That's impressive. He had 150 hits in 101 games. If he had played 150 games that year, he may have had over 200 hits. What would his batting average have been? See, I don't know on some of these Negro Leagues stats. Charlton, 92 games, 77 games, 101 games, 84 games, 54 games, 71 games, 48 games, 69 games. Only one time in his career he played 100 games in a season. It's not enough at bats. See, you need at least 500 at bats, and then you can qualify for the batting average leader for the season. And if you want to look at his career, 918 games, all he had was 3,300 at bats. Compare that with Tris Speaker. You know how many career at bats he had? 10,195. Oscar Charlton, 3,300. You want to debate that? I'll debate that with you. You got Tris Speaker, .345 career with 10,000 at bats. You got Oscar Charlton. Let's see. He's .364 with only 3,300 at bats. See, so that's why I'm covering Tris Speaker, because of the .345 career batting average, also 3,500. I'll give it to you exactly. 3,514 career hits. You got to look at him at the box score. How did he do 3,500 hits and 10,195 at bats? That's what I'm analyzing, okay? Is he number 5 on my list? I don't know. I got to look at Ted Williams, Roger Hornsby, Joe DiMaggio. Look at how they did per season and what their career percentages were compared with games played. What is the percentage of hits per games played. That'll be interesting to find out, right? Percentage of RBIs per game played. That'll determine my rankings. So right now I have Ruth, Cobb, Gehrig, Musial, the top four, greatest of all time. You may argue with me, what about some of these other guys? Well, I haven't looked at every box score of those other guys. Williams, you got Jimmy Fox, you got to look at him, you got to look at Hornsby, you got to look at DiMaggio, you got to look at Aaron and Mays. I'm not doing Aaron and Mays yet. I'll tell you why. Their career batting average is not high enough for me. They have the homers and the RBIs and the total bases. But the career batting average for Aaron was 305. Career for Willie Mays is 302. I got to look at these other guys whose career batting average is way up there. I mean, come on. You got to look at Roger Hornsby's 358. Got Joe Jackson, 356. How about Lefty O'Doul? He didn't play long enough, 11 years. He's at 350. He's not even in the Hall of Fame. You got Ed Delante, 346. Problem with him is, played in the 1890s. And if you go to Baseball Reference, you can't find the box score from the 1890s. You can find the career achievements at Baseball Reference on Ed Delante. But if you click on the season, you can't look at the box score because they don't have it. Man, that's a bummer. I would be interested to see what Ed Delante, what he was doing in all his box scores in his seasons. See, right now, if I click on Ed Delante, he started his career 1888. So you click on the team he played for, and you click on schedule and results. You know what pops up? All it gives you is the game score. It doesn't give you the box score. You know when they started doing that? 1900 and beyond. So in the 1888 and 1990s, we can't find the box scores. But 1900 you can. So let's see. We'll go back to Ed Delante here. Let's go back to Eddie. Where are you, Eddie? Here he is. Okay, so starts his career 1888. You can go to the 1900 season. He played from 1888 to 1903. The first time we have a box score on Ed Delante is in 1900. So you click that, you go to schedule and results for the 1900 season. Philadelphia Phillies. Still doesn't give you the box score. Let's see, 1901. Schedule and results. You finally get it. So all those years of Ed Delante's 346 average, and how did he do it in the box scores? We can't find it. 1901 we can. So I click on April 18th, 1901. Ed Delante went 2 for 4. So you can go through that whole season of Ed Delante's. How did he do? Well, I'll tell you what he did. According to Baseball Reference. All right, where are you, Ed? Let's go back to Ed Delante. Got him. Did you know in the 1901 season, Ed Delante had 139 games, 192 hits, and he batted .354. Did you know that Ed Delante, this guy, the reason why I'm talking about him is he has a .346 career batting average. Okay? Did you know that he batted over 400 3 times? 1994, 116 games. He had 494 at bats. That's close to the 500 I was talking about, remember? 494 at bats. He had 200 hits. And he batted .405. The next season, he had 116 games. This is 1895. He had 480 at bats. So again, he's close to the 500 at bats. He had 194 hits, and he batted .404. 2 years in a row, .405 and .404 for Ed Dell'Ante. Then, in 1899, he played 146 games. Now, that's a legitimate season, right? It's almost every day. He missed 8 games. Listen to this. He had 581 at bats and had 238 hits in 1899 and batted .410. His third 400 batting season. But in 1899, we can't look at every game he played that year because we can't find the box scores. Man, that's frustrating. Maybe I'll do some research, see if I can find out of the day-by-day season of Ed Dell'Ante in 1899, because he batted .410 with 238 hits. How many 2-hit games? How many 3-hit games? 4-hit games? Did he have a 5-hit game? A 6-hit game? What a hitter. Just one more stat on this guy. He played 1,837 games. Okay, that's a good amount of games, right? 1,800 games. 16 years. Did you know that he had 2,597 hits in 1,838 games? That's an average of 1.41 hits per game. And his lifetime batting average, 346. Now, these are the guys I want to look at. How did they do it? How did they play 20 years or 15 years or 10 years? And how do they maintain that average? You got to look at every box score. All right, I've been opining on these guys. Tris Speaker's 1911 season, 334 average, 167 hits. He had 500 at bats. That's 334. All right, next video, 1912. We'll keep going year by year by year with Tris Speaker. At the end, I'm going to rank him. Where is he in the top 10 greatest of all time? Talk to you later. I'm out.